first thing I want to tell you is that I am going to be recording this class. So when this class is over, if you would like, I can email you a copy of the class that you just attended. Okay?
I would love it.
Excellent. All right, this is the DARCI marketing class, and the reason we call it DARCI and marketing is because obviously it's going to be focusing on both. And while most people think of DARCI as a marketing tool, there is also a manual marketing tool that we're going to discuss near the end of the class, and that's also a very powerful tool outside of DARCI. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do when setting up DARCI, well, first thing we need to do really is we're going to hire DARCI. We think of DARCI as sort of like a person, essentially an assistant manager. She has 5 main jobs. And in order to get her to do any of those jobs, and you can choose which of those 5 you want her to do, or all 5, or any combination thereof, you first have to hire her. And to hire her, she needs to be set up. So we click on the DARCI marketing button on the Transcend toolbar. And that brings up this Set Up DARCI window. In order to hire her, we go to this button that says Set Up Account. Now,
am I supposed to be seeing a screen change?
Yes, you should. Absolutely.
I don't see anything changing. I just see December 31st on the screen.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you this. Do you see a blue screen with the Transcend toolbar running across the top?
No. Let me see what just happened. Can we go to this? Hold on.
So I do show that you are in the class, not just hearing you on the phone, but I mean actually, I see that you're in the class, so you should be able to see it. Oh, you do? Okay, great.
I was trying to move the little square. When I move that little square I'm sorry to take up time, that has the where you're talking, when I try to minimize it, the whole screen goes away. So how do I
okay, so the square that you're talking about, that's the GoToMeeting dialogue.
Yeah.
Where it says upper right-hand corner, you've got an X, and right next to it, you've got 2 little arrows pointing at each other. Do you see that?
I do that one.
If you click on the 2 little arrows, that should minimize that box without closing the screen.
Okay. Yep, we're good. Sorry.
Great. Not a problem at all. Hey, right now it's just you and me, so who cares?
Oh, okay.
All right. So let's continue then. So we're going to click on the DARCI marketing button, and that brings up this Set Up DARCI window. Now, in order to hire DARCI, we're going to click on this button that says Set Up Account. So we click there, and that brings up this Set Up DARCI Account information window. Now, it may look a little confusing. It's really very simple. I'm going to go over each one of the lines with you. Starting from the left-hand side, you'll see business name. Obviously, you're going to put in your business's name, address, city, state, zip, and telephone number. If you're in Canada, you can put in your province and postal code, etc. Now, where it says business website address, you're going to put in your business's website address. And it's important that you don't just put in the name of your website, but that you include the www if that's what it requires, or if it doesn't, perhaps just the HTTP, whatever it may be. The reason for that is because this is going to turn this into a link. So next, under that, we have business email address. Now, what does that mean? Obviously, it's pretty standard. It's your business's email address. However, there is a difference between the business email address and the owner's email address. There doesn't have to be. They can be the same. But the difference as far as DARCI is concerned, the business email address, if somebody receives a DARCI email and they reply to it, now they don't have to reply to any DARCI email. For instance, one DARCI email may be to confirm their appointment. And it'll have the ability with a button in there for them to confirm their appointment right through the email. That's not replying to an email. But if they actually replied and said, hey, I can't make this appointment, or something like that, whatever it may be, whether it's a promotional email or a confirmation email, if they reply to the email, it needs to get to you or whoever your manager is or whatever that may be. So it's going to be forwarded to whatever email address you put here in the business email address field.
Okay.
So if a reply to a DARCI email is done, it will be forwarded to whatever email address you put in this field. Next, we have the owner's email address and owner's email address too. If there's only one owner, just put in one email address. That's fine. Or maybe even a home email address for the owner and a business email address for the owner. That's fine too. If there's more than one owner, you can have up to 2 owners receive the owner's emails. Now, owner's emails are different than the business email address. For instance, if somebody replies, you know it's going to the business email address. With the owner's email address, there is a feature in DARCI, and we're going to get to it. It's one of her 5 jobs. It's called notifications. And most of them are what are known as suspicious activity notifications. And these are for the owner's eyes only. So if DARCI feels that something needs to be sent to the owner for the owner's eyes only, then it's going to go to whatever email addresses you put in these fields.
Okay.
Next, we have upload logo. Every email that DARCI sends out is going to have your logo on it, as well as your social networking icons on it. This makes it a good-looking email. However, it can't have your logo if you have not uploaded your logo. So it's really very simple. You just click the button, upload logo, and it brings up this dialog box, and it allows you then to browse anywhere on your computer and upload your logo. You just, once you have found the logo, you click on it, it'll fill in the file path, then you press upload, and it usually only takes a few seconds. And right up here, it'll then show.
I had a problem with that. I had a problem with that. I tried doing that the other day, and I could, but you've already downloaded my logo. So the logo that you downloaded for my emails, can't we just put that same one in there?
Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, wait a minute. This is this Skin by Design?
It is.
Okay. And Maya, that's the one with the woman with the banana leaf over her face?
Yeah. If you guys could put that in there, that would
has already been uploaded.
Okay, cool.
And that's where it was done.
Oh, okay, right there. Perfect.
Yeah, so you don't need to do that. Yours is already in there.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah. Forgive me for forgetting that, but you know, I'm just teaching the class the way I normally do. But yes, you're absolutely right. Yours is already done, so you don't need to do that.
So
as long as you're satisfied with it. If you ever want to change that, just let us know, and we can help you with that as well.
Okay.
Next, text account username and text account password. You do not have to use texting with DARCI, but you can. And if you're going to use texting, then you must have a text account username and a text account password. You get those either from this email address, rates@prosolutionssoftware.com, or by contacting your salesperson. I believe your salesperson is Maureen Long. Her direct extension is 128.
Yeah, I did contact her. Let me just see real quick. Since it's just you and I, let me see real quick if we got the... Because I did ask her about that. I'll have to look through. I know she sent me, I thought she sent me a...
That's okay. Yeah, certainly. As I said, her direct extension is 128, and her email address is Maureen, MAUREEN, @prosolutionssoftware.com. So if you need that still from her, if she has not sent it to you, just contact her, and she'll take you through the steps of what you need to do, if anything, to get that username and password for you. I believe you're using the cloud version of the software. In fact, I know you are. So you are due a certain number of free texts.
Yeah, I get like 200, so.
I don't know. Whatever that is, you just discuss that with her, and she'll make sure you have it. Next, on the right-hand side here, we have optional account information. When DARCI sends an email out, it's not going to just include your logo. It's also going to include your social networking icons. And so there are buttons at the bottom of every email. For instance, a Facebook, you know, the little blue square with the little Facebook F in it, or the Instagram camera, or the Yelp Y, etc. So
you set all those up for me. You set those up for me already.
Okay, all right.
The only question I have is on the online gift cards and online scheduling.
Okay, so these we're not discussing in this class. In fact, in DARCI, we're going to be removing online gift cards, online scheduling, and online retail, just removing this altogether from the setup DARCI account information, because that's part of the online store, and it is no longer part of DARCI. So we're going to be removing those. So you can just ignore these altogether for this class.
Okay.
So once those are in, we can go ahead and press save and OK, and then exit. DARCI is now set up. Sounds like yours is already set up. That's great.
Yep.
Next, we're going to learn about the 5 jobs that she does. The first job is appointment confirmations and reminders, and that can be done via email or text. So I'm going to click on email confirmations. We're going to discuss how this works. First thing to note is that what you're doing here when this window comes up, this appointment confirmations email, is you are writing an email that you want your customers to receive when receiving a reminder or confirmation message. Now, along with this email that you're writing, you get to use what are called variables. And you'll find those variables by clicking on the little information eye here. If I click on that, it will bring up this confirmation example message window, and it will list the variables that you can use. This is the way the variables must be put in order for them to work properly. So if you put in open caret, capital B, business name, space between the two words, capital N, name, close caret, that will insert your business's name. You don't have to do that. You could write your business's name if you wanted. Open caret, lowercase service, closed caret to insert the service name, etc. So they must be put in exactly the way you see them here. And then when you're writing your message, this might say something like reminder for Maya. Hi, Maya. Remember that you have an appointment for a, I don't know, European facial with Sally on November 24th at 11 a.m. Please arrive 15 minutes early to unwind before your treatment. All of the information gets filled in directly from your appointment book. Now, after you have written your subject and your message, then you come down here to this part where it says number of reminders to send. How many of these reminders are going to go out? And you can choose 1, 2, 3, or 4. I've said 2, and I want my first reminder to go out 2 days before their appointment. And I want my next reminder to go out 1 day before the appointment. Now, the reminder, again, your logo, your message, your social networking icons, and a button that says, click here to confirm your appointment. Now, let's think of this. Let's say that you were using a paper book. You're not using software. You're using a paper book to book your appointments. And you contact somebody. You contact Matt Wiggins. And you say, hey, Matt, it's Wednesday. I just wanted to confirm that you're coming in for your European facial on Friday at 11. And I said to you, oh, gosh, yeah, Maya, I can't wait. Looking forward to it. So you reached me. You got me on the phone. You spoke to me, and I confirmed the appointment. Well, the next day, you wouldn't call me to confirm again. I've already confirmed. DARCI does the same thing. When she sends the message out, if your customer does not confirm their appointment, then she'll send out the next one the following day or whatever you've selected. If, however, they confirm their appointment, she will not send out the next. These only go out if the appointment is not confirmed. Okay?
Yep.
So I've selected how many are going out, I've selected when they're going out, and if I'm satisfied, I check this box that says active, and then I press accept. Template has been saved, okay, and exit. By doing that, she's set up. I don't have to think about DARCI taking care of her email confirmations anymore. They're good to go. Can I do that via text? Yes, absolutely. Then, in this case, I click on the text confirmations. And I write my message. Reminder for Maya. Maya, your appointment with Matt is on November 24th at 11 a.m. Reply Y to confirm. Now, this is a text, so there is no logo. There are no social networking icons. There is no big button that says click here to confirm your appointment, because it's just a text that they're getting on their smartphone. Now, in that case, in order for them to confirm their appointment, they must reply Y to confirm. That is required if they're going to confirm. So it's a really good idea to have that message in there, reply Y to confirm. Now, you are limited in this case to 140 characters. Characters include everything that you see, the open carets, the spaces, the works. So it's going to be a short message, much shorter than your email. The email can be very long. You could have your cancellation policy in there, everything. Whereas the text is going to be very short. So that's why I've got something like this. Now, something like this, for instance, the open caret, capital CF, closed caret, that's 4 characters. So if I wrote this out and I counted all my characters, spaces included, and it was 140, I say, oh, I'm good to go. No, you're not. Why? Because you maxed out your characters. And what if it was reminder for Sebastian? That's a lot more than 4 characters. So when you are writing this out, make sure that I would say maximize it at maybe 120 characters. That gives you an additional 20 characters if their name is longer, or if perhaps the name of the service, if you're going to use the name of the service you don't have to. But if the name of the service is very long, then you want to be able to have those extra fields.
Right.
You might also want to start with reply Y to confirm in the very beginning, because if you use too many characters, it will remove characters from the end.
Okay.
The most important part of this is the reply Y to confirm. So you want to make sure that's in there.
But if I leave it just like this, I'm safe.
Oh yeah, sure. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is a really basic one, and I think in this case, this is only like 90 characters. So, okay. Yeah, you've got plenty of space here. Again, once you set this up, just like the emails, everything else is the same. How many you're sending out, when they're going out, and then you check active and accept, and then you can exit out.
Okay.
And then, now, you say, okay, I set up both email and text because some of my customers get email, some of them get text. How does the system know? In the client files, you have down here in the lower left at the bottom here, we've got confirm text, confirm email. If confirm text is blue, you must have their cell phone number in their cell phone field. Don't put it in the home field or the work field. Their cell phone number must be in the cell phone field if you have confirm text checked blue. Then they will get their confirmations via text. If you have confirm email blue, then you must have their email address in the email field. If neither of them are blue, then they will not receive a text or an email. And this is somebody you're going to have to call. And yes, you will be able to print out a list or look at a list of those customers that you need to call because they're not getting either a text or a confirmation.
So quick question, transferring all my data, because right now currently all my people get cell and email. Will that automatically be the case?
If they've uploaded your data and the cell phone number was in the cell phone field, then yeah, their cell phone number should be there. But that doesn't mean that this is blue.
So how do you make that blue? I mean, how do you?
Okay, well, normally they default to gray because you normally would ask your customer, how would you like to be confirmed? Do you want me to call you? Do you want me to send you a text? Do you want me to send you an email? And then you choose their response. If you're saying, no, look, with all of my customers, I send them all emails, or I send them all texts, or both. And
yeah.
Then our technical support staff can dial into your system, and they can, with one SQL line, can actually turn all of them blue, so you don't have to do them all individually.
Okay,
but they cannot do individual ones. That's not something I would do. You would contact support and have them help you with that.
Okay, so support. So they need to turn them on because I have that. So when I set it up though, how do I turn it blue when I set it up?
Okay, if you're doing it manually, especially if you add somebody brand new. So obviously, if you add them brand new after, for instance, tech has already marked everything blue. When you add somebody brand new, they're gray. So then you just simply go down into their client file and you just click on it. That'll turn it blue. Now, as far as technical support is concerned, they're going to probably, not that you need to know this, not probably, this is what they're going to do. They're going to go to reports and they're going to go to the data miner and they're going to write a SQL string in here and accept it. And when they do that, every one of your customers that's already in your system is going to have it checked blue, whichever you like, or both.
Yeah, I want both.
Okay, that's fine. You just tell them that's what you need. They'll write the statement, and it will mark them, and they'll all be turned blue, so you don't have to do them individually.
Perfect.
But again, that'll turn them all blue for the ones that are there. Any new ones that you add, you will have to do it manually after you ask them how they prefer to be contacted. That make sense?
Yep, it does.
Okay. All right, so let's go back into DARCI here. All right, so we've talked about appointment reminders and confirmations. That's job 1. Job 2. Automated marketing campaigns. So I'm going to click on email campaigns here. Now the email campaigns are just email. They are not texting. And the reason for this is because these are most of these anyway, are what are known as global campaigns, which means they go out to everybody. And what that means, of course, is let's say you've got, I don't know, some of our customers have as many as 75,000 customers in their database. If it sent out a global text, they might be paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for texting, especially if they sent out a text 2 or 3 times in a month. Then they might have sent out over 200,000 texts that month. And it can cost them quite a bit of money because it's $20 for 1,000 texts after the free ones you get.
Okay.
So because they're global, we do email marketing only, not text. Now the email marketing, and by the way, you can do manual marketing via text to everybody. And we'll be talking about manual marketing at the end of this. So what is the email automated marketing? Well, there's over 20 different campaigns that are already set up for you. Anniversary, back to school, birthday, Christmas, Easter, Father's Day, etc. I'm not going to read them all off to you, but everything you can imagine for the most part is in here. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, and you can even create your own through promotional. There's one here called promotional right there. So I'm going to go right here to say anniversary. So in this case, what I'm saying is I want the message to go out to my customers prior to their anniversary. How does the system know what their anniversary is? Because in the client file, you have the ability to put in their birthday and their anniversary. You don't have to, but you certainly have that ability.
Okay.
So in DARCI Marketing, we'll go back to our campaigns here, and I choose anniversary. So everybody who I have an anniversary date for, this will work for. If I don't have an anniversary date for them, it won't. So I choose the number of campaigns I want to run, 1, 2, 3, or 4. So perhaps I choose 4 this time. Then down here, I get to choose when the message goes out prior to my customer's anniversary.
Can I stop you just for a quick second? Number of campaigns to run. What do you mean? If it's an anniversary, why would you send 4? If you just want to get
totally
one.
Up to you. You could just send 1. For instance, what I'm saying is I want a message to go out to my customers before their anniversary. If you want to send 1 message out to them 3 or 4 days before, fine. You want to send it out 1 week before, fine. 2 weeks before, up to 30 days before.
Oh, I see.
No
so
problem.
If you hit 3, then if you said 3, then you would say I'd want 1 message to come 30 days before, another one to come 10 days before, something like that, right?
Exactly. That's exactly right. You've got it. So I've said 4 in my case, and I've said I want my first message to go out a month before their anniversary. I want my second message to go out 2 weeks before their anniversary, my third message to go out 1 week before, and my fourth message to go out the day before their anniversary. So that's what I've selected. Now that I've selected when they're going to go out, and yes, I can choose 1, 2, 3, or 4. Once I've selected when they're going to go out, then I get to choose what goes out. So my first message is going to go out 30 days before. So I click on first message, and I get to write whatever I want. In this case, I might be doing it for, let's say, congratulations, and then open caret, capital CF, closed caret. Notice I have variables to use down here. Some of them are a little bit different than the ones you use for the confirmation, so pay attention to what you've got down here. But in this case, this says congratulations, Maya, maybe even an exclamation point here. Then I get to write my message in here, anything I want. And I get to choose my font and my font size, the color, everything. So I'm going to say I want it to be Arial. And I want my font size to be 12. So I'm going to get rid of all of this. I'm going to start over. I'm going to get rid of everything here. I've said Arial 12, and I'm going to start bold. And it's going to say, congratulations, open caret, CF closed caret, so that everybody gets their own. Congratulations, Maya. Congratulations, Sally. Congratulations, Jane, etc. On your upcoming anniversary, which we see is only 30 short days away. Exclamation point. Now, I'm going to turn off my bold, and maybe I'm going to change the color here and make it, I don't know, let's go with this ugly orange here just so you can see me doing it, and say something like, be sure to schedule your appointment to look great and beautiful on your special day! Exclamation point again. And then maybe, oh, I don't know, let's stick a URL in there. So now I'm going to say, I'll turn off my color here. I'll go back to black and say something like, you can use our online booking feature if you like by, and then I'm going to say clicking here, and I'm going to turn that into a URL. Let's just pretend
look at that. Okay.
that this is the URL, which of course it's not, but, and then display link as text, and I'm going to say click here. If you like by clicking here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to insert the link. And when they get it, it's going to say clicking here, and it'll be underlined, it'll be blue, and when they click on those buttons, on those words, if they do, it'll take them to that link you put in. Okay?
Okay. So what, it will be my link.
Oh, that's part of the online store class for appointments online. But I could show you really quick, but let's save this template really fast so that we don't have to go back to that. Just very, very briefly here, this is a different class, but we'll go to the online store, appointments online. Everyone has their own unique URL. So that would be your URL that you would be able to insert in there if you'd like.
Okay, so I won't know what that is till I take that class.
Yeah, but you could find out what it is just by going to online in your software and go to appointments, and it'll be right there. But yeah, you want to learn how to set all of that up before you start doing things like that. You don't want to have a link that is going to something that's not set up.
Right. Okay.
All right, so we'll go back to our campaigns here and go back to our anniversary campaign, our first message. So, but you get the point. Now, I'm not going to keep writing here. So you can keep writing your message so it says exactly what you want it to say. Then you come down here where it says image to use. And you've got lots of different images to choose from. And there are 8 different images that we have pre-created for you that you can look at and decide which one to use. And maybe you don't like any of them, and that's fine. If you don't like the artwork that we've pre-created for you, you can upload your own custom artwork. And our graphics department can even help you design your own custom artwork if you'd like.
Okay.
Once you have your own custom artwork uploaded, or you have chosen one of ours, then you save the whole thing. Now, before you exit, it is a very good idea to press this button, Send Test Email. Click, type in your email address and hit OK. Why? Because you want to see what this is going to look like before you start sending it out to your customers.
Right.
Maybe you look at it and say, oh, gosh, that just, you know what, it doesn't work with my logo, or maybe the fonts I used aren't good, or maybe this word is just too small, so I need to go in here and highlight it and change the font size just on those words. I want them bigger, or I want to change just those words a different color, whatever it is. Make the adjustments and then save it again, and then send yourself another test email. Once you know it looks right, once you feel confident that it's going to be an attractive email for your customers, because you never want to send out something that is going to make you look bad. Once you're satisfied that it's an attractive email, then again, save it and exit. You're done with your first message. Move on to your second message if you're going to do a second message, and go crazy. Choose your artwork. It can be completely different artwork. It can be a completely different message. It can link to a different link, whatever you want. And if you've set up 4, like I do, you're going to do it for all 4. And once you're satisfied with however many messages you're sending out, then you come here and you check active and save the template. Then it's good to go. Again, now you don't have to think about it. Darcy's going to do her thing. And every day she's going to run, and she's going to be looking for customers who have an anniversary that is 30 days out, or 14 days out, or 7 days out, or 1 day, because that's what I selected. Of course, it'll be whatever you select. So now we're going to move over to something else. like birthday. Works the same exact way. So I'm not going to go over the plan with you. But now this is based on the birth date that you have in their client file. What about something like Father's Day? Father's Day changes every year. So does Mother's Day. But notice there's no date. But the system has an algorithm built into it. So based on whatever year you're in, it knows what day Father's Day is going to fall on, or Mother's Day, or whatever it may be that you've selected. There are other things like Valentine's Day, which of course have a strict date, February 14th. So this is going to go out 30 days before February 14th. If I chose something like Christmas, that's going to be December 25th. So this is going to go out 24 days before December 25th because that's what I've selected. So again, most of these are going out before the date, whatever the date is. However, there are 3 of them that are going out after the date. Those 3 are follow-up, follow-up new, and lost client. Why do they go out after, and what do you do with them? So let's click on follow-up. In this case, I said I just want one campaign to run. And I want it to go out one day. Remember, those 3 go out after the day. So then what's the day that it's using? It's using the date of your customer's last transaction with you. So in other words, if I set this up as to run one campaign one day after, that means that this message is going to go out to everybody who visited me yesterday. So every day, Darcy can send your clients who visited you yesterday maybe a thank you message, or maybe a message that has a link to a review. You know, it was so great seeing you yesterday. We'd love for you to tell us about your experience. Click here to review. Or maybe you don't want to put in a link to a review page. Maybe you just tell them to use the icons on the bottom. Like, please click on our Yelp link and write a review about us, or like us on Facebook, or maybe click on the Google Plus link and, you know, write a review in Google Plus, whatever it may be. Or even all 3 of them if you want. Write whatever you want. Remember, those icons are going to be on the bottom if you've got them.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, so then, again, it works the same way. And send yourself the test email. Everything else is the same as what we did for the others, but it goes out after. Now, what is follow-up new? Follow-up new does exactly the same thing. So then you say, okay, well then why do we have both? Well, because follow-up new is not only going to go out after the date of their last transaction, but the date of their last transaction must also be the date of their first transaction, which means they are a brand new customer to you. So then you can have a unique message going out to somebody who's new to you. Now, because this software is new to you, everybody's first transaction is going to be their first transaction in the software because
that's right.
Yeah, so you probably don't want to use follow-up new until you've been using the software for a while. Because, you know, maybe after about a year, you've been using the software for a year, you've got all these transactions in there, and then somebody comes in. So now in this case, they really are new to you, or they haven't visited you at least in a year because you haven't used it for that long. The point is that, you know, then it's going to be effective for you. When somebody first starts using the software, that's something I generally tell them to avoid, because you don't want to tell somebody who's been coming to you every 2 weeks for the last 3 years, you know, oh, it's so great to have you as a new customer. It makes you look silly.
Yeah, no kidding.
You don't want that. So again, follow up new for a new customer. When I'm talking to new customers like I'm talking to you, I would not use this feature until you've been using the software for a while. Whatever you determine that while to be, I would recommend 6 months to a year.
Okay.
Now then we have the lost client. Now the lost client's a little bit different. It also uses the date of last transaction. It also goes out after the date. However, so just like follow-up and follow-up new, but in this case, instead of 0 to 30 days, it goes 30 to 360 days, month by month. And because it's going out after their last transaction, in this case, what it's saying is, I want this message to go out to everybody, because I chose 90, you can choose whatever you want, but I said, I want this message to go out to everybody who has not been back to see me in 3 months. They came, and 3 whole months have gone by, and they have not returned.
So now, once again, though, the system's going to be new to me. So will that be effective?
Well, again, the lost client's not going to be effective until you've been using the software for a little while. But remember, they have to have a first transaction. So yes, it's going to be effective. Let's say, for instance, that somebody let's just pretend you start using the software for real today. If somebody came in today, then 3 months from now, they still have not returned, they'll get the message you wrote here.
Okay, so I really
right now.
Yeah, it's not going to be effective though till I'm using it for a few months.
Well, again, yes, but remember, even if you set it up today, it wouldn't go out to anybody until 3 months from now, and they have not returned. Even if you set it up today. Now, if you set it up 2 months from now and said for 3 months, but people came to you 2 months ago because you started it today, but you didn't set it up for 2 months, that's fine. A month later, it'll still see those people who came in 3 months ago but had not returned. Now, there is another benefit here. If they have a future appointment with you, it will not send the message out. Again, we're trying to make sure you don't look foolish. So even if they came to you 3 months ago and have not returned, if they have an appointment next week or next month or 2 months from now, whatever, if they have a future appointment booked with you, it won't send the message out, even if they have not returned in that amount of time. They've already booked their next appointment, so you don't want to say, oh, we miss you, come on back. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what if somebody came to see you and 3 whole months have gone by and they have not returned to see you again, and they don't have a future appointment, so they get this message. Then they ignore it for whatever reason. And I set up a second one at 120 days. So then a month later, those same people that ignored this one will get another message from you. And maybe this one sweetens the deal a little bit. Maybe the first one said, oh, we'd love to see you again. Come on back, 5% off or something like that. And then the second message might say, oh, we see that you didn't take advantage of our 5% off offer. We'd love to have you come back. Here's a 10% off offer or something like that. You don't have to do that, of course. I'm just making a suggestion. You sweeten the deal a little bit.
How do you do that? How would you change that message for the? Because
every message is going to be different. So when I go here to my first message, I write whatever I want, like this one here. Please print out this email for 10% off your next visit is what I wrote here. Okay. And then that's the one going out 90 days after. Now they ignore that. So then the one that's going out 4 months after might say something like, come in and receive 25% off all services on your next visit. Again, I would never give somebody 25% off, but.
Right, but how do you know that they've ignored it? I mean, what if they just get the email and come on in?
They got the email and they have not returned or booked a future
appointment. By appointment. Okay. Gotcha.
If they have not booked an appointment or they have not come in, then another month goes by, then they'll get this message.
Okay.
If they get this first message and they're like, oh, yeah, I was meaning to go back. I'm going to go back. So they book an appointment or they come in. If they have a future appointment, no more of these will go out. And if they come in, it'll reset the clock because they ran another transaction. Make sense?
It does.
All right. So then, again, you just go through the ones that are important to you, and you set them up the same way we just showed you for all of these. They all work exactly the same way except for those 3 that go out after the date. Now, there is that one other I told you about, promotional. When I go to promotional, I get to make my own date. So you might say, hey, look, there's nothing special coming up in January, other than, New Year's, January 1st. But in my neck of the woods, January 17th is a really important day. I don't know why that is. Maybe that's because that's when you opened your business, and so that's your anniversary.
Okay.
Or maybe January 17th happens to be some carnival that your town does. I don't know. I don't care. The important thing is that you get to use that date. So you could go in here and you could say 01/17 of 18. That's my date for my special holiday. And then my number of dates campaigns to run to. My first campaign is going to go out a week before the 17th. So this will go out on January 10th. And this one's going to go out 2 days before the 17th. So this one's going to go out on January 15th. And then I write my message, whatever it is.
Okay.
And I choose again, you're not choosing artwork in this case because this is a custom promotion. You are simply uploading your own custom image. And if you don't upload your own custom image, it's not a problem. It'll just put your logo on top and on bottom.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so that is job 2. Next, now you see we spent a lot of time just on the first 2 jobs. The next 2 are going to go. The next 3 are going to go by pretty quick.
Okay.
Notifications. Remember when we set up DARCI? We said the owner's emails. DARCI will send out things that are going to the owner's emails eyes. The owner's eyes only. So set up notifications, and all of these are notifications. Most of them, not all, most of them are what are called suspicious activities. So if you've got an employee working the front desk and you check this box when a cash payment is voided, if your employee voids a cash payment, you're going to be instantly notified by DARCI. Hey boss, it's DARCI. Transaction number 12345 for cash was just voided on this day at this time by Sally. Or this one here that I like, when a price is modified at the point of sale. Hi boss, it's DARCI, etc. When rewards points are adjusted, that's an area that people can give their friends extra points so that they can get things for free if they're part of the points program. And so, they dumped 500 extra points on their friends' rewards program so that they can get something for free. Well, you get notified if they did that, if that's checked. So you just check off whatever's important for you to be notified about. Now, not all of these are suspicious activities. For instance, this one, when you make over an amount in a day, check that box and you get to write whatever number you want in here. Then when you hit that number, DARCI will send you an email and say, hey, boss, congratulations, we just hit. And whatever the number is. And, if you said, I need to do $1,500 a day between me and my 2 other girls here. We need to do $1,500. So I want to know when we hit $1,500. Well, you're open till 6. And at 5:30, she lets you know you hit 1,500. Okay, great. You did it. You hit your goal. But maybe she tells you hit 1,500 at 11 a.m. that morning. You're rocking and rolling. You're doing great. So again, you don't have to use that. It's just a little feature there. Then there's this one. Email tomorrow's schedule to operator. Not a suspicious activity. Your staff or you will get emailed by DARCI every night your schedule for the following day.
Oh, that's great.
Then there's this one, email closing report. Maybe the boss leaves, but the business is still open. Boss is gone for the day, though. She leaves at 5, business closes at 7. And one of the employees closes the drawer. Well, at the end of the night, DARCI will send the boss an email that says, hey, boss, here are tonight's closing numbers. So things like that. It's whatever you check, DARCI is going to notify you about. Most of them are suspicious activities. Several of them are not.
Okay.
Cancel that. Okay, that's notifications. Next, we have job 4, which is come again. Come again is based on services. And what it does is this. Let's say that you offer a service that should be repeated. Let's say you offer a physical therapy massage. And in your head, you say, when somebody gets a physical therapy massage, they should be getting them at least once a week. Okay. So I'm going to go to my setup, salon and spa services, and I'm going to go to my massage here, and I'm going to go to my physical therapy 60. Now, I've already created one for physical therapy 60, so let's go to one that I haven't created. I'm going to go to my Shiatsu Plus here, and I'll go to DARCI. This is my DARCI come again. If I check this box, it will allow me to choose from 1 to 52 weeks and write a subject and a body. Now let's go to one that I have created, my physical therapy 60. I've set it up for 3 weeks. Remember, I believe that my physical therapy 60 should be repeated weekly. So that means that if somebody comes in and gets a physical therapy 60 and a full 3 weeks have gone by and they have not returned to get it again, they'll get this email. Don't neglect your physical therapy. I know that a busy schedule can get in the way of your muscle's health. Don't let it. We see you've missed your last therapy cycle. Call today to schedule. So you write the email. It's a one-time email, so it's not abusive. If the customer got that service that you believe should be repeated and a certain amount of time has passed and they have not repeated it, they'll get the email reminding them. According to the consultants who helped us develop this, this results in about a 7% increase in client retention and service sales.
That's
now,
awesome.
It does not have to just be done for missed cycles. Let me explain what I mean. Let me choose something else here like skincare, and I'll just grab anything here. Let's go with let's go with my spa eye treatment. let's pretend that the spa eye treatment should be done every 8 weeks. That's what we tell our customers. You want your eyes to keep looking like this? You want those bags gone? Every 8 weeks you come in for your treatment. Okay, so I'm going to go here to DARCI, and I'm going to click DARCI Come Again. Now remember, last time I said it should be repeated every week, so I went with 3 weeks to make sure that they actually missed their cycle. This time it should be repeated every 8 weeks, but this time I'm going to choose 6 weeks instead of maybe 10 or 11 because they missed their cycle. Instead of saying they missed their cycle, I'm going to say that their cycle is coming up. So I might write a subject that might say something like, don't forget your spa eye treatment. And then your body might say, we show that your last spa eye treatment was 6 weeks ago. And your next treatment should be coming up in 2 weeks. But we see you don't have an appointment booked. Please call us to book it today for 2 weeks from now, or something like that. I'm just making it up as I go. The point is that DARCI won't send the email out if they have a future appointment booked for this service. So in other words, if they should be coming in 8 weeks, but they don't have an appointment booked for that, 6 weeks go by since their last service, she'll send out this message if they don't have a future appointment booked, letting them know that their next service should be coming up. That's different than doing it the other way, which is, hey, you missed your last cycle. This one is, hey, your cycle's coming up, and we see you don't have an appointment. Book it now. So you can do it either way. Again, if they have a future appointment booked for that service, it won't send out the email, again, so you don't look foolish. Go on back to DARCI Marketing. The next job is Buy Again. Buy Again is very similar to Come Again, but instead of services, it's based on inventory. So I don't think you sell shampoos, but I set this one up for shampoos, so let's go in here. In my inventory, I've got a button here that says Buy Again. And if I click it, I can write a subject, a body, and again, choose from 1 to 52 weeks. So for my product 20, which is my Cameo Justin All-in-One shampoo, let's pretend it's 20 ounces. And let's pretend I tell my customers that they should be using 2 ounces of it every other day. Well, if that's the case, then they should be using the full bottle in 20 days, or basically 3 weeks. So maybe I choose 5 weeks, because I'm not the guy that honks the horn the second the light turns green. So I'm giving them an opportunity to run out and find time to come back to me. But if a whole 5 weeks have gone by since the last time they bought this product, then they'll get the email. Your Justin All-in-One shampoo is running low. If you've been using the shampoo like we told you, then you should notice that you're either out or running low. Please print this email out and bring it in with you for 5% off your next purchase within 30 days. That's what I wrote. You write whatever you want. You don't have to give discounts. Okay. Now, the point is that they bought this product, 5 weeks have gone by, and they have not returned to buy it again. Now, again, DARCI's not dumb. What if you sell this product in multiple sizes? Or you sell products just like it, like other shampoos or something like that? If they came in and they bought a product within this time frame that is in the same category, it will reset the clock. Again, you don't want to tell somebody they're running out of something if they just came in a couple of weeks ago to buy something just like it.
Right.
Okay? Obviously, if they buy the same product, it will also reset the clock. All right, so that is Buy Again. Those are the 5 main DARCI jobs. Now, you'll notice down here it says Run DARCI. You don't have to worry about that because you're in the cloud. The Run DARCI button is only for those using the installed software. They have to make sure that DARCI is always running, so they have to check that box if they ever shut off their computers. People in the cloud can shut off their computers all they want. DARCI's still running because she's in the cloud, not on their computers.
So now, when DARCI's in the cloud and I'm in my building with a shared network, is all of my stuff secure?
Oh, gosh, yes. Well, first of all, it has nothing to do with your network.
Okay.
Because it's in the cloud. It's in our NetFidelis cloud. It's got nothing to do with your network. You're using the internet to access it. The only way somebody would be able to access your software and your data is if they have your login credentials.
Okay.
Now, once we have set up our 5 jobs, or any combination of those, you could just do 1, or you could do all 5, or whatever. Then we have to tell DARCI, now she knows what her job description is, we need to tell her when to do them. And that's what these boxes are. So If I want to have DARCI do my appointment reminders and confirmations, excuse me, and or my automated campaigns, I check this box. If I want her to do my end of day functions, like contacting you with your schedule for the next day, or contacting you to tell you what tonight's closing numbers were, things like that, we check this box. If we want her to do the come again, we check this box. If we want her to do the buy again, we check this box. Then we have to tell her when to do the job, and our option is from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. So choose whatever you like. I like my confirmations and campaigns to go out at 9:30 in the morning. My end of day functions, I need to make sure they go out after I close. So if I close normally at 5:30, maybe I set it for 6:30 to make sure I've actually closed before she tries to send me the closing numbers.
Right.
And then, of course, my come again and my buy again can be anything I want as well. I like to set them up at the same time as my confirmations and campaigns, simply because I like to know that they're all going out at the same time. So once I've checked off the boxes of the things I want her to do, then I put in the time I want them to do, and I can accept it and exit. DARCI is completely set up, and she will run every day at those times, 365 days a year. And everybody who meets the necessary criteria will get the necessary information sent to them, whether it's an appointment reminder or a promotion or a come again or a buy again, or it's sending out your staff or you important information, whatever it may be. She is going to be running every day, and she'll be doing it at those times. Now, certain things she doesn't wait for, like the notifications. If one of your employees did something that you said you want to be notified on, she notifies you instantly. Okay.
I have a question for you. So on all my history, since all my history didn't transfer over, how am I going to create history for all my clients so I know what days they came in and what they had done?
Okay, there is a way to do manual history in the system that's very time consuming. But if your history does not come over, obviously, every time you do a transaction from the point that you start using our software, you will be creating history because people come in.
Yeah, but I need to
but
have
for the old history. Yeah. Let me see if I remember how to do it. I may not, and that's not normally part of this class, but you may need to go to tech for it. But let me just see here. No, I'm not finding it. You're going to need to ask a technician. Excuse me. But we have something in here called manual history input. And it allows you to put in dates and services that people received, services directly into their client files.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to do it because I have so many. I'm just going to do it week by week. That way, over the course of 6 months.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, definitely something you're going to need to talk to them about. I'm sorry. It's not, like I said, it's not normally something that I would teach. It's definitely something that a technician would do, but I've got no idea. I'm just guessing now.
And
sorry.
just really quick, let me make sure I know I've got your number, but.
Okay, to contact support, by the way, if you call the 800 number, there's an ACD queue, so it'll tell you, click here for technical support, click here for sales. I mean, not click here, press this number so you can do that. But of course, don't forget though, you've got this button that says support. If you click on that, it'll allow you to talk to a technical support representative within 15 seconds normally. Our 800 number average hold time is 9 minutes. Our chat tech support average hold time is 15 seconds, as long as it's during our regular business hours.
Okay.
And because of the holidays, there are some changes to that.
And is that's 8 to 5, what time zone?
It's 7 to 5 Pacific, which would be 10 to 3 Eastern.
Okay.
I mean, 10 to 8. It would be 10 to 8 Eastern, 7 to 5 Pacific, and that's Monday through Thursday. So you get 10 hours of free tech support Monday through Thursday. On Fridays, you get 5 hours, which is, are you Pacific time?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so 7 to 5, Monday through Thursday for you. On Fridays, it's 7 to noon, and on Saturdays, it's 7 to 11. So you get 4 hours on Saturdays, 5 hours on Fridays and 10 hours Monday through Thursdays, and no hours on Sundays. However, we do offer 800 number support 24/7. However, during our regular business hours, it's free. Outside of our regular business hours, you are charged.
Oh.
Okay. So, yeah, but you've got 10 hours a day, 4 days a week, and 5 hours on Fridays and 4 hours on Saturdays. You should have all the time you need to get free technical support and training.
Will it tell you
yeah, I mean, if you
charged in case you forget? Like, say you call, you're really busy and you call at 6 o'clock accidentally, and they answer the phone.
Oh, no, there's no accidental. It's really simple. If you called in after hours, you get a message that says, it doesn't get answered, "Hi, this is Pro Solutions Tech Support. How can I help you?" It doesn't work that way. If you call in after hours, let's say you call in at 2 o'clock in the morning, then it's going to say, you've reached Pro Solutions Software after hours. If you would like a return call from a customer support representative, please leave your message. Please click here to leave your message. You'll click there, and then it will give you another message that tells you that this is a charged call, and do you still want to do it? And if so, you leave your message, and then they will return your call.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And of course, if you call during regular business hours, the machine doesn't do that.
Right.
All right. So, boy, we're rapidly running out of time here. So next, very, very briefly, unfortunately, we need to talk about manual marketing. We talked about DARCI. Now we're going to talk about manual marketing. The first thing that you need to know about manual marketing is that you can customize it. And you do that by going to Setup, Configuration, Tracking. And then we can add tracking names or delete them or set for marketing groups. I'm going to say add tracking names. And I get to write whatever I want in here. When you first look at that, these are all blank white spots. I can write anything I want. So if I was a hair salon, for instance, I might write color here. And then over here, my tracking items, write red, enter. Brunette, enter. Blonde, enter. Silver fox, enter. Whatever I want. Auburn, enter. Then, and I've got some of them here, then maybe I'm a salon, hair length, long, enter, medium, enter, short, enter, etc. Maybe I'm a day spa, skin type, oily, enter, acne, enter, dry, enter, cracked, enter, whatever. I can go as crazy as I want. Do my customers ride motorcycles? Yes or no? What's their nationality? Caucasian, enter. African American, enter. Asian Pacific, enter. Whatever. This way, I get to create my own unique tracking items. Now, in every client file, all of this stuff is trackable already. You don't need to create any more. But all of it is already trackable. But if I go to tracking, I can now say that Michelle Babcock's got black hair and that it's long and she gets perms and she has oily skin and she rides motorcycles and she's Hispanic. She's got tattoos. She's between the ages of 20, because I set all of these up. Now I go into DARCI and I create my list. And why do I create a list? I don't know. What do I want to say? And why do I want to say it? I don't want to do my automated marketing through DARCI. I say, today I've got a very special message I want to send out to a very special group of people. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to invent a scenario here. In my town, there's a big motorcycle gathering in the middle of the month. And so everybody comes in, thousands and thousands of people come in for that, and some of them come into my spa, and I ask them, hey, are you here for a motorcycle gathering? Oh, yes. Check. Are you here for check? So now I'm going to say I want all of my women who ride motorcycles. And then I give it a name, like Moto Femme, and I create the list. Or maybe not something like that. Maybe I say, I just want a list of everybody. I don't need to touch anything then. Males and females, create a list called All Clients and create my list. Or maybe I just want my men who buy this particular product. I could do that as well. My point is, and I can keep going until it's a very, very targeted list. I just want my women who have a birthday in this month, that have not been in this amount of time, that have this kind of membership, have long hair and dry skin, whatever. I keep adding it until it is a very specific targeted group. Once I have created a list, I can go to Blast, and I can choose the list that I created. Like my all females here. This is just my women now. And then I go to my blast. Do I want to send an email or do I want to send a text message? And maybe I want to send an email, but I haven't created an email. Now I've created a whole bunch of emails. If I go to email here, there's a whole bunch of emails I've already created, but maybe you haven't created any yet. That's fine. Go to setup and make an email. So I make an email. My template is just called Maya. And then my subject line is going to say, hey, open caret, CF closed caret, exclamation point. And choose my font size. I can even upload an image. Maybe it's a pretty lady with great skin, or maybe it's a picture of a pimple. I don't care, because then I put in my message, whatever it is. I don't need to upload an image, by the way. And don't forget, this is going to have your logo on it, and it's going to have your social networking icons on it. I write whatever my message is, and I save my template. Then it will be on my list, and I can choose it. So I could say I'm sending my, I don't know, let's go with my farmer's market message. Send myself a test email to make sure it looks good. Yep, that looks good. Hit process, and everybody on that list is going to get that message. And remember, when you set this message up, you can upload images. You can change your words bold, underlined, italicized, color, even add links, just like you did in the DARCI messages. And then you send this blast out to just those people. Here's a great example of not doing a promotion, but using the create a list for targeted marketing. But it's not a promotion. Let me explain what I mean. Christian's your employee, and he walks up to you and he says, hey, Maya, my 3 o'clock just canceled. It's 1 o'clock. You know you don't get a lot of walk-in business. And when people call to book appointments, they're not calling for 2 hours from now. They're calling for tomorrow or next week or whatever it may be. And you're like, wow, Christian's going to be sitting on his hands at 3 o'clock for an hour and a half. So I'm going to go to create a list. And I'm going to say I want all of my women who like to see Christian. And I give it a name, like Christian's females or Christian's clients or something like that. And I create my list, which I've already done. And then I can pull that list up, like here we go, Christian's clients. And I want to blast this. I want to blast an email, but I haven't created one yet. So I go to setup and I give it a name, like Christian's 3 o'clock, which I have actually done. So I'm going to go here to my Christian's 3 o'clock. And then I write open caret, CF closed caret. There is an opening with Christian today. So this might say Maya, there is an opening with Christian today. Sally, there's an opening with Christian today. Remember, this is only going out to Christian's customers. And my message. There's been a late cancellation with Christian today. It is at 3 p.m. First person to call to schedule this time will get 25% off their service. Save my template, and then go to email, choose my message, my Christian 3 o'clock, send myself a test email to make sure it looks good. Yep, hit process, and every one of Christian's female customers will now get that message. And hopefully your phones ring so that somebody can fill that time.
Okay.
It's another way to use it without always having to just do promotions. All right. That is manual marketing. And we didn't have much time, unfortunately, for that because we've run over. And I've got another class starting in just about 20 minutes that needs to be prepped for. So, quick question. Do you have any questions on anything you've seen today?
No, I might have to. You're going to send me a copy of this training, is that right?
I certainly am. Let me just make sure that I've got, you want skinbydesign@gmail.com?
Yes.
Okay, let me just. gmail.com. You will have that before end of business today, Maya.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And I'll see you 2 times today.
All right. Look forward to hearing from you. Take care.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.